Hello and welcome to the Away Day Experience show here on Back of the Net. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And this is the show where we review the away day. It's pretty much self-explanatory, but Tom, it's nothing to do with the football, is that right?
Yeah, we leave all the bias at the door. We leave whatever happened on the pitch. We get rid of that because we spoke about that in enough stuff, second look, etc. So this is all about what's the away day like? Apart from the football, what's it like before the game? What's it like when you're in there? What's the facilities like? All that good stuff. And then we put them in a little tier list at the end.
I can't wait for this. And look, we've got different criteria to rank them on as well. But first and foremost, if you're brand new to the channel, there's a couple of things that you can do.
Give it a like. Give it a like, really appreciate that. I mean, you can wait till the end of the video if you like it, give it a like, but just make sure you give that a little click, and then the subscribe button as well will be much appreciated. You can hit the bell as well, and then you find out when the next one's out and all that good stuff. So yeah, do it, because it's good as well, especially if you're one of the Premier League teams, you get to see where you compare with other teams.
Exactly, I was about to say that, but you know what? Shall we reveal who is going to be on the away day review this week, Tom?
Biggie.
It's a biggie, not least the club size, the stadium, the journey. It's Newcastle United. Whereabouts are they going to rank? What we'll do is show you our tier list so far. This is how it's looking at the moment. So we've got 5 categories, we've had 3 away days, and we've got no teams so far that are in any bad categories. But Tom, from top to bottom, do you want to talk me through what the categories mean? Because ultimately we're going to be placing Newcastle United in one of these in about 15 minutes time.
Yeah, so right at the top is banging visit, so it's better than we expected. This is exactly what you want for an away day. Yeah. No qualms about it whatsoever. Then we've got decent day, which you can see we've got a couple in there at the moment, Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, which means exactly what I want for an away day. Well happy, can't complain too much, decent day. In the middle, can't complain, where Man City are at the moment, where you kind of go, it could be better, but it's definitely not a bad one, so right in that middle. And then fortunately at the moment, none of the teams that we've played so far are in the bottom 2. We've got Mare, not the best, so it's not horrific, but I would expect it better. And then right at the bottom, what a waste of petrol. And as we say, that's nothing to do with the result, because otherwise Liverpool wouldn't be in decent day, because we lost 9-0.
Yeah.
So but yeah, some nice categories in there. Where will Newcastle be, mate?
Where will they? Well, look, to help us come to our conclusion, we're going to go through 5 different points and then score it out of 10. The overall scoring, if you were to write down the scores on aggregate for all the teams, it's got no bearing on where your team will finish. But we're just grading each and every one, and that will help us today rank your side. So, Tom, talk me through the different 5 things that we're going to be talking about.
So we go through the pre-match experience.
Okay,
so that's kind of, your parking, before the game, maybe if you go to a pub before the game or whatever you do before the game, all that stuff before a ball's kicked.
I'm looking at you like this is new information. We do this every time. But yeah, I agree.
You're also looking at me like I didn't have a beer and I can't even speak. And it's days later. Concourse and refreshments, we go into that as well. So that's like the facilities and food and space in the concourse, all that good stuff. Then we go to the stadium and the view. How nice is the stadium aesthetically and what's it like from an away fan's point of view for the view and stuff like that. And then just a little bit over from that is the atmosphere in general. We talk about the home fans, what are they like in the stadium. And then finally we go to the people. You always meet a good bunch of home supporters when you're there. So just talk about how friendly the people were and what they were and what the gauge was like, having a little chat with the home fans.
And there are some things within these shows that we've always got to take into account that are unavoidable. That includes the kickoff time. If it's on a weeknight, obviously it means we can't really explore the city as much, and also the journey time as well. And
weather.
Weather. Let's face it though, Newcastle is our longest trip, so you'd think that would mean that we'd take that into account, probably downgrade it. But we don't know. Let's look. Let's just go through it bit by bit and see where they finish.
Yeah.
Are you excited, Newcastle fans? I hope you are. Look, pre-match experience then. So look, a lot of Bournemouth fans that I knew made a weekend of it, like I would assume Newcastle fans would when they come down to Bournemouth. So that means staying up in Newcastle on the Friday night and the Saturday night, or like we did, staying 3/4 of the way up, but it made it a very quick drive relatively to Newcastle on the Saturday morning. There were some people that caught the coach, but in terms of journeys, mate, I mean, it's a bit of a long one, but it is what it is. But pre-match experience, parking wasn't a problem because we were at our hotel. There are plenty of car parks about, and also in some places street parking as well. But then you're talking what to do. And one of the benefits of Newcastle United is that St James's Park is probably one of the only stadiums that's in the centre of the city centre. it's what a location.
It's perfect. You don't even, as you say, I think this one, because we stayed up and stayed nearly all the way there on the night before, it means I kind of gauge from another fans like what their pre-match was like as well, and everything in terms of parking and accessibility was quite comfortable. And as you say, mate, you always worry about where you're going to go before the game. You've got a few hours to kill. You're there probably from about midday. There's just so many options because of where it's located, and you know that you haven't got to think, oh, I need to get a cab afterwards to the stadium. Everything's close, and that's a massive benefit to it. It's there's so many options of places to have a little drink beforehand.
And you look on the sort of away day guides, and they'll pretty much allude to the fact that most of them are kind of really friendly. There are a few dedicated home pubs, but really, they'll accept the away fans anyway, and there are so many pubs, of course. You can go pretty much anywhere. We went to the Bridge Hotel, which was about a 10-15 minute walk to St James's Park, just on the Tyne. That was really nice. Also popped by the Junction as well, which is a Greene King pub, which was good. We got a free pint in there actually by entering BOTN on the season ticket app. There's a link below if you want to check it out. I really enjoyed it, and sort of a nice chance to mill around with Newcastle fans, and like you say, it's a really quick walk to the ground as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's one of them. There's certain away games where you think everyone's going to be in the same pub, and in terms of away fans, and sometimes that's really good because you get an atmosphere going, you see everyone, all familiar faces, and on the other hand it's a nightmare to get served and all that stuff. So this is one where you're never really going to get that because there's so many options, but it means you can, as we'll come on to with the people and stuff, you can speak with the other fans and have a nice little mixed one. And it was really good, mate. And I think most people, I say, because they're staying up as well, you don't want to get mad before the game, and you want to watch the game properly and take it all in. But really good, mate. I think apart from the fact that it's so bloody far, that's the only thing that knocks it down, really, because everything apart from that is pretty good.
Pre-match experience out of 10 then, what are you going to give it?
I'm going to go, because it was pretty much bang on, and then I'm just going to take the bit off for travel, I'm going to go for an 8.
8 out of 10 then, St James's Park scores for pre-match experience. Right then, on to Concourse and Refreshments. And look, we all know that you've got to walk up a number of stairs to even access the concourse. 140, mate, loads of flights of stairs. Get that step count up on your Fitbit. But in terms of the actual concourse, I think it was a relatively good size, I thought. It was a really nice views over the city, actually, because it's nice and light. It felt very open, but obviously that meant that you couldn't really sort of go out for a vape or anything if you're of that equation, could you? No,
and I think that's been the case in virtually all the games this season.
But apart from Forest, I think.
Oh yeah, Forest, that's right. Yeah, so I think the existing Premier League clubs, maybe it's that kind of health and safety, security side of things. I'm not sure, but yeah, as you say, mate, it went down, and it was roomy, a lot of space, and quite easy to. I got served very quickly. It was all quite comfortable. Carling, never great.
Was that the beer?
Never great if it's Carling, unfortunately. But
the food as well was standard fodder from those I chatted to that ate there as well. But they said it was nice. It filled a hole, so can't. But Carling's not the best.
Carling's not the best. I would say this is one of them ones where you go, nothing sensational, but exactly what I would want and expect from a concourse and refreshments and things like that. So pretty average, I think. Above average because I'm happy. Carling knocks it down. You know what I'm like, mate? I'm a real connoisseur when it comes to crappy lager.
So, your service was good though.
Bang on.
And in terms of the facilities as well, I mean, there were never any queues to get into the toilet, so I thought it was all right. What are we going for, mate?
Fine, mate. Yeah, absolutely fine. I'm gonna go 6 or 7. 6.
6. Okay, 6 for concourse and facilities. Then St James's Park, the stadium, the view. It's impressive. It dwarfs a number of parts of the city. It's just one of these really impressive structures. It's really grand, and even from where we are at the top of the Leazes stand, wow, you've got an amazing view over the city, enhanced by the fact that you've got the kind of opaque view through the glass or perspex, whatever it is, so you can see right through. It makes it very light, very airy, and it's a long old way to the pitch, isn't it?
It is a long old way. I think what's weird about it is you'd kind of think that would mean the view's bad. The view's not bad.
No, the view's not bad.
It's weird. You are a lot further away, but the view's really good. It's more, which I don't think we're going to cover too much in this section. It's more you find it hard to get a real atmosphere going because you know how far away you are from the players. I thought we'd done a good job, actually. Newcastle fans let us know. I thought we'd done the best we can, as you can tell by my voice. But in general, the actual view is really, really good, and I'm not going to mention the fact that you've got to get up loads of stairs, it is what it is, but I always do a thing where, because I go to all the away games as you do, I always take a little picture from a seat of the pitch and the stadium, and then just for memories, I look through them all. And this is the first one I thought, wow.
Yeah.
There's something about it, mate. I love it. I've been before, and I just think it's aesthetically just beautiful.
I think, and it's enhanced for me by the fact that you've got your two smaller stands, and then you've got this gargantuan stand. It actually makes it all the more impressive for me, and I don't know. There's just something incredible about it. I can't really describe it, and yeah, absolutely love it, mate. And could I just quickly, whilst we're there, we didn't really sit down, but if you do sit down, there seemed to be quite a lot of leg room there.
We were pretty much back row, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. Well, one thing I would say that the gradient felt quite steep. So if you take a topple, my God, I wouldn't want to be falling down those steps.
It's a nightmare for limbs, I've got to say, because there could be some serious limbs. Shout out to anyone who watched the channel. Richard Jackson did not dislocate a body part.
Well done, Richard.
During them limbs, so fair play to him. But mate, it's everything you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
From a stadium, and I love it.
Yeah. I've also got to quickly comment the staff as well.
Okay.
I don't really know where this falls under. I'm going to put it under stadium. Really good, like the stewards.
Oh, they're great.
Really great. We got a bit vociferous when we scored, and you do tend to give the home fans a bit of grief. There's lots of kind of gesturing and all that kind of stuff as we do. They were giving it back, which we expect. But the stewards were very smiley. They were happy. I think we were chanting Southerners, 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 and one of the stewards like, well, actually, I'm on board with that chant because I'm from Sunderland, so I'm all for it. And they were just, they were bantering, and that sort of diffused any, situations that could have arisen if there was any animosity and stuff, which there wasn't anyway, because the Newcastle fans were, which we'll come on to, really nice. But the stadium and the view and all that kind of stuff, mate, loved it.
Loved it. Quick mention there, because you said about the Southerners chant. I saw a few people on Twitter, Newcastle fans, that obviously didn't realise that we were singing Southerners, thought we were singing Sunderland.
No.
Sunderland, because it sounds similar, doesn't it? So just to let you know, we wouldn't do that. God, I can't stand. I'm always Newcastle over Sunderland, bloody hell. But yeah, it was Southerners is what we were singing.
And also, can I just mention Rob Trent as well, who he had a great view on the accessible platform. I think there was about 7 or 8 power chairs across there, so plenty of space, and which is testament to how good the facilities are there. And the view that he had was really good. It was unobstructed. It was just in front of all of the Bournemouth fans, so he got a cracking view and he felt part of it as well. So it was a thumbs up from him on that. Which I mean, this is all boding well, mate.
It is, mate. Give the rating. How many did Liverpool put past us?
9.
Go 9. It's the first time this season I've been happy to say 9.
9. Okay. Right then. This is a strange one, the atmosphere next, because so far this season the toxicity's gone from St James's Park, and there's been a lot of games where the atmosphere has been unbelievable, and you can sense that over the TV. But I felt as though Bournemouth, actually, the way they played, helped to stifle them somewhat. And look, we've also got to mention that it was a weekend that was very poignant. There was the Queen's 1 minute silence, and as such, there weren't any flags either, and there's always the big, away the lads and all that kind of stuff, and like the Newcastle crest on flags being waved. There was none of that, which I think probably contributes to it. Definitely. So it's very difficult, but within the 90 minutes, I was I wasn't blown away by it.
No, I agree. Spoke to a few Newcastle fans beforehand, and they said about the flag situation and said that might help you because it might not get as going, which I appreciate. It's a difficult one. You'll see if you've watched any of the other videos, and probably more so coming on. I think we're going to have a lot of this season where we're a little bit disappointed by the atmosphere, and I think we've got to put it into context with Bournemouth, and I think a lot of these teams, it's very hard to get up for a Bournemouth game. I get that in terms from the crowd, and I think we also should give ourselves credit as we made it difficult for them to get behind the team, because we were frustrating them on the pitch, and that played a part in the stands as well. I felt, they found it really difficult to really get it going.
I mean, our chants could be heard, which is something in itself, really.
I think it's probably because of previous experiences. I've been to Newcastle, and even though sometimes it's been, from their perspective, bad chanting, because they've had like McLaren and people like that in charge, and it's been more hostility, it's still been loud. Yeah. And it wasn't, I expected it to be a lot better. Having said that, I probably expected them to be better on the pitch, which would have obviously helped them. But as we're going to see throughout the season, and we'll probably rejig a few things near the end, but you start in, the more games we have, the more you're comparing, and I'm thinking, it wasn't what I expected, but it wasn't as bad as the others either.
Yeah,
they're all have not been great from a loudness point of view, but it was okay. It wasn't great, but I'm not going to go too harsh. But I've got to say it's below average from what I expect from Newcastle. So I'm going to go for a 4 for that one.
4. Okay, didn't score too well, and I think that's
but if you look at the previous ones, they've all been pretty poor, haven't they? I think they've all been under 5 actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, the people then. The people of Newcastle. Oh my God, they're so friendly.
I know.
Like, it's almost weird.
I want to be a Geordie a little bit.
Why are they so different? Where's this stiff upper lip horribleness that even us fans have? They're just really nice.
They are. Maybe it's that fact that we gave them Eddie, who knows. But no,
yeah,
maybe.
But
you hear it a lot, don't you, from other people as well. I think
they're just so friendly.
On one of the previous shows, I think we went to Liverpool, I said, how great the Scousers were, because they were. And I think I said something like, I'll be very surprised if there's a fan base that are just as lovely. But then we found one a few weeks later. I think they're incredible people, mate. And we obviously not go into that too much because it's we did stay overnight at this one. But even on that night out and that, they're just brilliant. All of them. There's nothing. There's no problems. They're just lovely people.
I remember we were watched. So just to put it into context, we were in a pub that was like a pre-night out place, wasn't it, called the Waiting Rooms.
Oh, Waiting Rooms, really good.
This was on the Saturday night. So I just thought I'd mention it. We won't kind of score this bit, but the game of the day on Sky Sports 8:30 was AFC Bournemouth Newcastle, and obviously we were all cheering when we saw Philip Billings' shot hit at the back of the net. And there are a few lads who are obviously Mags fans, just sat opposite, sort of making a few comments, but like in jest. And Ian Hensman, our Cherry from Down Under, who was with us, went over to them and stuff, and they were buying him shots, and they were getting him to a Jaeger bomb, putting their arms around him, sort of being really welcoming. And the people that we chatted to in the pub, in the bridge, there was Mark, there was Dave, there was Andrew, there was Glenn. On the way to the game, there was a bloke called Si, and I've got to say,
Si was brilliant. Yeah.
It was really awkward. I said, because I've got my little camera with me. I say, do you mind if I have a quick chat for a YouTube channel, like it's the AFC Bournemouth fan channel? So yeah, absolutely no problem. I sort of went like this, and then he put his arm around me as well, and we were like interlocked in this hug whilst I was filming. It was a bit awkward, and people behind us were like, "Who are these two?"
These just little couple from different fan bases.
And then I managed to sort of, get myself. Simon was great. Robbie, who I saw just before the game began under the Milburn stand, lovely guy. All really friendly, mate.
It's just, and like you were saying, mate, about...
You met some people out on the Saturday night that were nice.
Yeah, brilliant. And as you say, you kind of, when you're in a pub and like you say, you celebrate a goal and you think everyone in here is a Newcastle fan and we're Bournemouth fan. Sometimes it can get, and when we cheered, I saw a few people come over and I thought, this could get a bit. Yeah. And they just come over and, oh my God, you're Bournemouth. Oh, legends, well, I'm coming out.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, what?
I mean, they were telling us what places to go.
Brilliant. Yeah, I spoke...
really respectful as well.
Yeah, I spoke with Beth, who I know, who does a Newcastle channel, and she was giving me advice, said, where'd you go? And I said, where we went. She said, it's great down there. I think I ended up in Cozy Joe's or whatever it's called. Great place as well. So, yeah, and literally every single Geordie I met was absolutely wonderful. So, and I'm already thinking when they come down here, I want to go out that night just to see the Geordies out.
Yeah, take them out.
Yeah, brilliant, mate, absolutely brilliant.
Get in touch with us. Subscribe.
Oh yeah.
And then just keep in touch with us, because when it's when the roles are reversed, we would like to think that we could be as hospitable as you were to us, because it was unbelievable. Okay, out of 10, the people, mate. Yeah, big 10s.
10, they're getting 10, mate.
I was about to say 100%. Wow. This brings us on then to our tier list. So here it is so far. Then we've got some big clubs in here. Let's face it. There are no diddly clubs. Man City, Liverpool, Forest, Newcastle was our 4th away day. What are you thinking for this one then, mate? Because it's a long way to go.
It's a long way to go. Yeah. So that's the thing that you go back to. But when I think of all parts of the away day itself, I think the only thing I'm ever trying to bring is I go, yeah, but it's a long way. Yeah, but it's a long way. But would I prefer to travel that distance to have that sort of away day than say have a 3-hour shorter journey to have not as good one? No, it's part of it. You're going to travel anyway. Yeah. We're Bournemouth, so everywhere's relatively far. To be fair, we're right at the bottom. But I love it, mate, and you know where it's going. You all know where it's going.
What?
Banging visit, top.
Mate, I'm well
Got
happy
it.
with that.
Got it,
I'm
mate.
absolutely delighted. Yeah, I mean, they might not finish top of the league this season. I know that's where the ultimate aspirations are, but they're top of this league at the moment.
That's what they'd want.
Superb. Well deserved. Well deserved. I'm just looking through now at some of the other clubs, thinking which clubs might be able to join them.
Could be interesting.
That'll be interesting. So there's a reason to hit that red button. Yeah, superb.
Deserved it, mate.
Well done. Well done.
You agree?
Yeah, no, I do completely agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. Like I say, literally, when I think of Newcastle, and they go, yeah, but what's bad about Newcastle? I go, it's really far, Ryan Fraser, and then I'll stop.
Yeah.
So apart from that, it's absolutely bang on, mate. So, and I think I already give him enough stick about Ryan Fraser. I'm not going to let him affect the away day. He was on the pitch, kind of, for 70 minutes. But yeah, no, loved it, mate. Absolutely buzzing. I just want, like now, even though I think of the trip, I go, would I take Newcastle in a cup? Yes, I would. Just go back up there. Love it.
Middlesbrough in the cup, Sunderland in the cup.
Yeah, but we would stay in Newcastle.
Yeah, we would stay in Newcastle.
We've done that last season, didn't we, in Middlesbrough?
Yeah.
And it's always great, always great.
Always great. Lovely. All right, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to providing you some more content over the international break. We never stop.
I'm just thinking, because we've got a couple of, after the international break, we've got a couple of home games. What's the next away day? Oh, Fulham. That done pretty well last year because we were in the championship with them.
Yeah.
Looking forward to reviewing that one. We got the boat last time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I'm looking forward to that away game. We've got a few London ones coming up now.
Can't wait.
Shorter trips. But yeah, keep watching, see where the other teams, and then we might rejig at some point because you're comparing to more things. But I enjoyed going over that one, mate. Great weekend.
Beautiful. And you're beautiful too. We'll see you in the next video. Love the chairs.
Oh, cheers. You're beautiful too.
Thanks, man.